Thank you so much for the clapping. I was playing on the drum, and I know it's me you were clapping for. Thank you. I love this time of the year. It brings back childhood memories, and the story of Christmas plays out in my mind. But I have lost most of the childhood understanding of Christmas. As I have traveled through my life, Christmas came to mean different things to me. I remember before 10, I had an expectation for a whole 24 months, Christmas, the Christmas before, the Christmas that came, to expect something for the Christmas that is coming. So there was an excitement and a joy. And somewhere along the line, my eldest sister discovered the presents on the top of a cupboard. And I realized, ain't no Santa Claus. And it bothered me for years. And I was mad at my sister for taking away my childhood feeling of gladness. Something is coming. And as I became a teenager, I realized that Christmas meant something else. It meant at school little parties and exchange of gifts. And then as I got into my 20s and I began to work, it was a period of riotous living. Eat, drink, and be merry. And I drank, I ate, and I was merry. And then I came into my 30s, and I had 2 children. And I had a mixture of my childhood, a mixture of my teenagehood, and now I had to play Santa Claus. And somewhere down the line as I got older, the story remained, but the expression and experience of the story changed. And somewhere in my 40s, as a student continuing to study, I got to realize that the Christmas of old and the Christmas of now is not about a time past. It is an experience that every soul must go through seriously, not as a once-a-year thing, but as an everyday occurrence. I got to realize that Christmas is not about the birth of Jesus as told in the Gospels. I became a metaphysician about 40 years ago, and the story began to make sense for me. All the characters in the story, and as I studied metaphysics, I get to realize they're all aspects of our own lives. And therefore, I had to try to bring the story to me, for me. And that's when it began to make sense. I didn't have to drink anymore, fight at the dinner table anymore. It was a process that I had to go through to find myself. That although Christ is born 1,000, 2,000 times in Bethlehem, if the Christ does not emerge from deep inside of me, what good is life? So I take the Christmas story not as an event of 2,000 years ago, but part of a personal trip that I take each moment of my life. I realize that the characters are characteristics of heaven, and the places that they travel represent states of consciousness that I go through daily. But if I know my purpose, my objective in life is to come to know myself for who I really am, that it's a journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem and finally to Jerusalem. When I understand what Nazareth means, I could apply it in my life. You see, when you read the story as just literature, just like that, without looking for the figures of speech in the story, you leave year after year. And by the beginning of the new year, the story is forgotten. But when you understand how the story applies to you and me, you get it. And Christmas becomes, how many days in the year? 365? 365. A 365 occurrence. 2 weeks ago we began this experience, and we had the Annunciation. And last week we went up into the hill country to visit with Elizabeth. And today we're going to begin the journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem. The journey to Bethlehem from Nazareth takes about 6 days. It's about 130 kilometers. And it's not on the 401. It's not even on a gravel road. It's on rocky terrain. Wilderness country. A mixture of every known problem that you could have. There were bandits, there were lions, and there were bears. So you could not travel alone. So you had to get a company of people who were going in the same places, to the same place that you are going to travel with. I want you to think about that for a moment. We get so accustomed to the modern day living in this part of the world, and the scene that I just described to you is playing out today, right now, in other parts of the world. Life is hard. Modern technology does not exist. And these people, like Mary and Joseph, had to take, or still have to take, a journey to get what they think they have need of, because they're nomads. Nazareth, from a metaphysical point of view, represents a place of low estate. The scripture says, can anything good come out of Nazareth? Meaning, it's a place where the people will look down on. I want you to take a look at yourself. Have you ever felt looked down on? Have you ever had low self-worth? Low self-esteem? Have you ever felt good for nothing? That you have nothing to offer the world? Has the world beat you down so much from childhood to make you believe that you have no worth? You're worthless. Have they teased you and taunted you because you appear differently to them and you did things that were different. So this is Mary, coming from that state of lowness, mental lowness, thinking of ourselves as insufficient. This is Nazareth. But something happened to us. We have this wonderful idea that we believe could save the world and become a savior to all mankind. And we got to move from Nazareth. We got to change our state of mind. We have to realize that we are an important ingredient to the whole of mankind, because what we have inside of us could bring peace on earth. The movement in mind from a place of lowness does not take place because you read a book, or because you came to a class, or because somebody told you that you are the light of the world. The journey incorporates forgiveness, letting go of all the beliefs that you have had before this moment. What you thought of yourself, what you held to be true. It's releasing and letting go. You cannot make one step forward and one step backward and hope to get to Nazareth. Nazareth represents the house of bread, or the house of substance, where you can be fed with all that you require to bring forth this wonderful idea, saving grace for all mankind. Sometimes we have this good stuff going on inside of us, but we refuse to let go of sometimes family, a job, friends. God said to Abraham, Abraham wanted to experience abundance. His father had led them from Ur in the Chaldeans, which is now Iraq, to Syria, Upper Syria, which is in a place called Haran. And when he got to Haran, he realized, oh my God, this is okay, like us. Sometimes when we are trying to get out of trouble, we reach to a place and we feel this is it. And we rest. And then we stay. And then we overstay our time. We do it in relationships. We do it in our jobs. We do it in every aspect of our lives. That's the part of the human conditioning. But Abraham got this vision that he does not have to remain like his parents did. He needed to move to a new place. A voice inspired him to say, go forth from this place, from your people, your family, from where you live. Go get rid of all of it and go to a new place that I will show you. It's not a place that you are looking for. It's a place that will be revealed to you during your travels. This is the same journey that Mary is taking, going to a place called Bethlehem, and must go through some rough territory. You know, sometimes we believe that we read somewhere that, you know, I could be a millionaire. And we believe that being a millionaire, we just have to sit down and pray to God. God, I'm a millionaire. And the millions will flow. To get where you need to go, you have to travel. And you have to endure whatever that travel will mete out to you. You got to get up, knowing there's no turning back. Because what you are holding on to is precious. And those around you don't see its preciousness. You ever had a good idea and go to your members of your family and tell them about it? And they ridicule you and say, what is this? Are you different from us? Hello now. The sky above, the sky is for those people. We are mud people. You ever heard that from members of your family? Who you think you are? Are you better than us? This is why this is a mental journey into yourself. Nobody knows anything about you. There is nobody outside who could counsel you on the journey that you have to take. We have been told to go to ministers. Please don't come to me. And we are told to people outside of us. But where we need to go is inside of us. Listen to that still small voice that says, I am you. I am you as a potential. But for you to be that potential, you have to cast off a lot of the stuff and lighten yourself up. What would my family say? I know some of you all like me, right? Have stunted yourself because you thought other people will think this of you. That's why you haven't done what you were supposed to do. Anybody in here can't relate that? Put your hand up. See what I told you? Everybody. We sell ourselves short. Not realizing every idea that comes into us is a gift from the Almighty, from the Infinite, trying to tell us, you are the only one to bring forth this idea, but you need to travel and go to a place that is new and receptive and could allow you to breathe easily and give forth of yourself without competition, without criticism, and without condemnation. Have you ever been condemned, criticized, set aside? Have you ever been? Yes. Well, then I'm not speaking to the right people. I was trying to people who didn't go through that. But this is the journey that Mary is now taking. It is fraught with all sorts of perils. But a peril that has not happened is a potential. Hello now. Everything is a potential until it happens. Everything that has happened to any other person alive before you can happen to you. I want you to get that. I want you to get that. That the people who bring their lives before you are examples of what could happen, may have happened, or is happening in your life. That's why Jesus said, judge not, for the judgment that you make will come back to you. Every moment of your life is a moment of celebration. As you journey to this place called Bethlehem, all you have is hope. That's all you need. When you have an idea that is pounding in your chest, all you need is hope. And as you travel, the 6-day journey to bring forth the perfect idea as God has given it to you. You can say like the psalmist, yea, though I walk through the valley of seeming death, I am not afraid, for all of God is with me. The reason why we are afraid is because of what they told us could happen. They meaning outside of us. I remember as a little boy, I liked to climb. And every time I saw a tree, I would climb. And I was told, you should not climb. You could fall. And the first time I imagined fall, it kind of stopped me from climbing for a bit. They inject fear in you. And you begin to perceive it as a reality because it's a potential. And the next time you climb, what's going to happen? You're going to fall, man. If it's not in your consciousness, it cannot play out in your life. Amen. The road to peace is releasing all that stuff you inherited by the voices and the actions of others. It plays in our mind like a dance. Every time we have something good to express, all of that comes back. Our relationship with our parents, we didn't have a good relationship, all that comes back. With our teachers, with our neighborhood, all that plays out like a dance. Join me, it says. Because what good could come out of you? And you begin to listen to the voices in the dance. And you stay in the dance for the rest of your life. You got to unhinge yourself from the dance. Separate yourself from and move to the place that you alone can go to. Go to a place that I will show you. I will supply you with all the good you need. This is Bethlehem. Mentally leave this place of low self-esteem, low self-worth, and come to this place where you know that all you have need of is in this place, and you are now free to give birth to this perfect idea that is God. This cleansing that we need to take takes place in the conscious phase of mind. Because every time we get a new idea from superconscious, God comes into the conscious mind, and the old programming from that memory mind called the subconscious mind seeps in. That's where Satan resides. Anything that is opposed to living resides in the subconscious phase of mind. And it comes up with one thing in mind: to destroy all hope of change. Can you relate that with me? I'm just telling your story through me. Learning that each life is a journey from spirit, through spirit to spirit. Learning that you are an unrepeatable expression. There is nothing, no one has ever been like you. No one will ever be like you. You are the perfect idea of God. Wow. Just like every other perfect idea of God. You don't have to listen to anybody. You just have to do what? Listen to that Christ inside of you saying, all the good that you need, come unto me. Find rest and find the will to express all that you are as you let go. This is the journey to Bethlehem. It's not getting on a donkey and riding. It's a mental journey that begins with the discovery that I hold within me a perfect seed that has been planted by the Almighty in me. And I have to travel or move out of the old conditions in my life and find a place that I could be supplied with all the ideas, all the energy necessary to bring forth and deliver this gift of God. Do you realize that you are a gift? Hello now. And some of us live our whole lives never opening the box. We live by the label on the outside of the box. Hello now. So the box says woman. And it comes with some items of womanhood. Women could do this, but they can't do that. And we format our minds to live with the label. We never open the book to realize that women, hello now, could do everything that a man can do. Because in God there is no gender. Hello now. Hello now. It's not liberating to find out that gender is something that somebody told you you are. But in reality, you are a spiritual being fully endowed with all that God is. Manhood, womanhood, childhood, old peoplehood, every hood. Boys in the hood, girls in the hood. You have all the hood in you. You don't belong to no particular hood. You hoodless. When you discover that hoods keep us down and keep us locked into a concept that is not true, we free ourselves of the hood. This is what Mary did. She freed herself of Nazareth and all the implications of Nazareth. This is what we need to do. Some of us are so afraid of doing because we hear a mother's voice saying, if you do that, don't come back home. Leave home. Well, you know, our family is a special family. You can't bring the family down. Bring the family down. They need to be brought down. Do your life as you choose to do your life and express to Christ as God reveals it to you. You live your life according to your understanding. And, you know, so big deal. You're going to have some failures. A failure is not a failure. It brings you to realize you need to do things differently. Hello now. Hello now. When you realize every time things don't work out, it means you didn't do something right. Go back to the beginning. What can I now do? This is what research and development is all about. You got to stay with it, examine it, Helena, practice it, use it, and discover its potential. Because every idea is infinite. An idea has no end. And the more you dig into it is the more you what? You find, oh my God, I have just begun. The greatest joy of living is now in my life, in my whatever it is. None of your business. But there's joy when I do these lessons now. There never was joy before because I came cluttered with all kind of stuff. And as I've freed myself, there is this wanting to just give and live and be and celebrate freedom. This is what life, I should have been doing that when I was in my 20s. But conditioning kept me from being me. Helena. And then they say, when you reach a certain age, you got to put down your bicycle. You can't do that anymore. You can't have convertible cars. And you can't have a scarf around your neck. You can't do those things. That's living in the hood. You are infinite, expansive. You are unlimited. Live your unlimitedness self. Don't live through the eyes of other people. Live through your own eye. Live the single eye method. You focus where you want to be, because where you want to be is a mental picture that nobody else could see. You focus on that and keep walking towards Bethlehem, where all your supplies will be. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? Yes. Whatever you want to do, go do. And when they ask you, say, heaven told you to. Start living. It is time we realize that each one of us has a gift called Christ in us. And our role is to bring it forth. Let it come forth in full term. Full term. Don't shortcut it. Don't get somebody to cut you open to take it out. No, you bring it full term and feel the glory and the delight of being a servant of the Almighty, giving birth to the Almighty, the gift of the Almighty of life. Long it for itself to be infinite, to be great. To every one of us has greatness in us. Start to live it. God bless.
Starting note. That one. Thank you. I won't just survive. Oh, you will see me thrive. Can't write my story. I'm beyond the archetype. I won't just conform, no matter how you shake my core, 'cause my roots, they run deep. Oh, you have so little faith. Don't doubt it, don't doubt it. Victory is in my veins. I know it, and I will not negotiate. I'll fight it, I will transform. When the fire's at my feet again, and the vultures all start circling, they're whispering, you're out of time, but still I rise. This is no mistake, no accident. When you think the final nail is in, think again. Don't be surprised, I will still rise. I must stay conscious through the madness and chaos, so I call on my angels. They say, oh, you have so little faith. Don't doubt it, don't doubt it. Victory is in your veins. You know it, and you will not negotiate. Just fight it, and be transformed. 'Cause when the fire's at my will start. So glad, so glad. Don't be surprised, I will still rise. This is no mistake, no accident. When you think the final no isn't, think again. Don't be surprised, I will still rise. Still rise. Don't be surprised.